right now.
Undisputed.
It's a Friday. This is The Herd, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We're on iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1 in Los Angeles. Joy Taylor's joining me. I thought Skip won that Julian Edelman argument. That was a big last 10 minutes for Skip. Shannon does not agree with me. It's great having everybody in today. Joy, how are you?
I'm great. Good morning. Happy Friday.
You look like you should be going to a Keith Urban concert.
I look country?
You look hip.
This is very, business-like.
Boy,
I look like a librarian or something.
No librarians at my school look like that. Don't say that.
I guess I could toss some cowboy boots on it, but you're not going to a concert. You're going to, an exclusive...
Oh, stop.
I want the background story on this on Monday, because this is... We're being fooled here.
Well, let's start the show with the Dallas Cowboys. They're having camp, and Zeke isn't there.
Right.
Okay, so I have kind of a rule in life. I'm just going to... This is kind of behind the curtain. I won't waste too much time on it. What do I buy in life? I buy things that I think are growing in value. I'll buy a home. I'll buy land. I'll buy a stock. Because I feel over time they're growing in value. I tend to have a theory on life that I lease my fun. I don't buy a boat. I just lease it. I'll go and pay for the day. I lease my golf clubs. I lease my skis, jet skis. I lease my fun because they're declining assets. Once you get a jet ski, an hour later, it's worth less. Once you buy a car, you drive it off the lot, it's worth less. So I tend to buy things that are accelerating in value, and I lease things that are declining over time in value. That's just kind of my theory. I don't think it's revolutionary. I think that's what a lot of people do with wealth management and with their money, right? I feel the same way about the Dallas Cowboys. Dak, to me, is the land, the stock, the house. He's an accelerating asset. Zeke is a declining fun asset. I would pay Dak. Dak is a quarterback. Dak rarely gets hit. That's why Dak can always play. Dak is mature. Dak will get more mature. Dak is good. Dak is getting better. In 8 years, Dak may well be twice the quarterback he is today. He is an ascending asset. I would pay Dak. Even if I got to pay a little too much than I want for the house and a little higher price than I want to buy the land for and a little more than I want to pay my quarterback, I think Dak Prescott is an ascending asset. Now, we can argue about the price on the house. We can argue about the price on the quarterback. I wish Dak would take 29, not 32. But don't kid yourself. He is an ascending asset. Zeke is not. Zeke is closer to the car. I'm not saying you don't need transportation, but the minute you get it off the lot, it's worth less. Zeke will never be better than today. Every hit, he's a little less of a running back. And sometimes I have a test in life, say it out loud. Immature running back, demanding money 2 years out from a contract at a position that's not trending particularly well. I think it's an easy decision. I got a bunch of people to pay in Dallas. I'm paying the quarterback first. I'm paying the pass rusher second. They've already paid him. I think I'm paying Amari Cooper in 2019, wide receiver third. Then I'm paying Jalen Smith, the linebacker, great kid, outstanding position. You need athletic linebackers. Byron Jones. That's how I feel about Zeke. Nick Wright talked about this morning. There's a lot of mouths to feed, and Zeke is not doing his so-called friends any good here cutting in line.
Dak Prescott has made less than $3.5 million in his entire football career. That is less money than Zeke is scheduled to make this season on a contract that he thinks has him underpaid. I do find it interesting what potential locker room politics, even if they're able to keep it quiet, happen if Zeke attempts to cut the line almost, where Amari's got 1 year left, Dak's got 1 year left and has never been paid. Zeke's got 2 years left and was a top 5 pick.
People tell you who they are. Maya Angelou used to say this. Believe them. Johnny Manziel kept telling you in college, here's what I am, me guy, immature, not a guy you want to build a franchise around. And Cleveland's like, can't hear you. Patriots took Johnny Manziel off their board. Colts took him off their board. Cleveland's like, we can't hear you. We can't see what you're doing. Zeke's telling you who he is. Immature, me over we, mean, Dak Prescott's got more leverage right now. He's a quarterback in the quarterback league. He's like, I'm just going to play. We'll get it figured out. I mean, it's become a wide receiver league more than a running back league. Amari Cooper's like, I'll play. All good. They asked Jalen Smith, who, by the way, is an unbelievable linebacker for Dallas, in a game now that you need athletic guys in space. Linebackers matter. You know what Jalen Smith said when they asked him about Zeke's contract? He said, quote, I'm here. People tell you who they are. You got to ask yourself when you're paying people, what's their position? How's the position trending? Are they long-term employees? Do you want them in the building for 5 years? Do they play well with others? Are they we over me? Don't get me wrong, they're pro athletes. I get they want the money. But if you're asking me today, deserving contracts before Zeke, I'm paying Dak first. He's the quarterback. I'm paying DeMarcus Lawrence second. They already got him. I'd pay Amari Cooper because there's clear signs that Amari makes Dak a better player. I think I pay the linebacker Jalen Smith. I don't have to pay Van Der Esch for 3 years. I'm paying Jalen. And the Cowboys were looking for a corner for about 8 years since Deion Sanders, maybe 12. They finally got one. Pay the damn kid. It's the NFL. You got to have one world-class. Even the Patriots pay Stephon Gilmore. Even the Patriots pay a corner. You've been looking for 15 years for a corner. You got to pay Byron Jones. Great kid, great corner at a position that's increasingly popular. I'll just keep doubling down on this. I think I've doubled down on this 9 times this week. You keep telling me you want Zeke, and it's an easy decision. I think it is easy. I'm paying Dak, DeMarcus, Amari, Jalen, Byron. I'm not paying Zeke. You can get a haul for him. Pay ascending assets, not declining assets. Lease your fun. Dak over Zeke all day. Let's shift to this. You know, it would be nice to come to work every day and have a staff that was supportive and not working against me. And this morning, the staff goes out, oh, look, Baker Mayfield, odds to win the MVP. That's so funny. First of all, it's voted on. So, of course, Baker has a shot because Baker's got a better story. This is what MVPs have become. NBA MVP, it's not about value. It's about stats. It's called the MVP, not the MSP. But Russell Westbrook won it. Derrick Rose won it. Really, Derrick Rose valuable. Has there ever been a minute of his life he was more valuable than LeBron James in a basketball court? The MVP is voted on by writers who like stories and romance over reality. Of course Baker Mayfield's going to get a ton of votes. I would be shocked. As long as has a winning record, 1 game over 500, I will be shocked if Baker doesn't finish top 2 in the MVP. His story's better. Now, if you're asking me who I think the MVP the last 5 to 10 years in the NFL, there's 3 players in this league that I think are way more valuable than everybody else. And again, the word is valuable. Andrew Luck is number 1. He's gotten teams to the AFC Championship, bad rosters to a conference championship. Number 2 would be Aaron Rodgers. He's gotten bad defenses to a conference championship. 3rd is Russell Wilson. He's gotten horrible offensive lines into the playoffs. Those are the most valuable players. Patrick Mahomes is gifted, but he's got Andy Reid, fastest player on the NFL, the best tight end, a very good offensive line. He's great, and don't get me wrong, there's some value there. But Andrew Luck, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson are the most valuable players in the NFL. But I'll give you an example of why Baker's going to finish top 2 in the MVP voting. I'm not saying he's going to win it. It's going to be top 2 because people vote stories. Here's a great example. Usually, if you have great receivers and you have great backs and you have great tight ends, people would say, well, you know, of course they're good. I mean, of course. Baker Mayfield has the 1st or 2nd best young tight end in football, the best wide receiving core, easily the best 3 backs combined. But he's going to be the rare guy that gets credit for that. Why? Rookie head coach, downtrodden Cleveland. Baker's a short 2-time walk-on. It's a great story. Baker's a great story. And MVPs are about stories. I mean, really, you've ever thought Russell Westbrook was more valuable than LeBron James? In where? Outside of one city, where in the NBA? But he was a better story. Kevin Durant left him, triple-double, even though it's not a stat award. Okay. Take Jared Goff. Jared Goff doesn't have a wide receiving core as good right now as Cleveland. Robert Woods is excellent. He's a number 2. Cooper Kupp is excellent. He's a number 2. Brandon Cooks is excellent. He's a number 3. You can't name the Rams tight end. What about Todd Gurley? What about him? Couldn't play at the end of last year. Jared Goff has never once even sniffed MVP talk. Like Baker, he's young. He's 24-7, 60 touchdowns, 19 picks, and a passer rating over 101 and got to the Super Bowl when his best receiver was hurt and his best running back couldn't play. Not a sniff. Why? Because Jared Goff is tall and didn't have to walk on. And the Rams are in big, rich, greedy L.A. And Sean McVay is a genius, although the Super Bowl disproved that. MVPs are about narratives, and sports writers vote on MVPs, so they vote for stories. Jared Goff's numbers are absurd in his first couple of years. His first year in the NFL, it was man overboard. The fact that he didn't crumble is amazing. He's done nothing but win and get to Super Bowls. Nothing. No crickets. Baker's got better tight end. Baker's got better receivers. Baker's got better back. But it's Cleveland. It's Freddie Kitchens. He's a rookie head coach. Baker will absolutely be top 2 in the MVP voting as long as Cleveland has a winning record, and I predict them to be 9-7, so I'm not shocked at all. It'd be nice if my staff wasn't trying to get me worked up every day. And I walk in there, and I'm like, hey, free coffee and donuts for everybody. Oh, look at here. Time to make some changes. Infuriating. All right, great to have you in today. Packed. I am going to see Keith Urban tomorrow. Pretty amazing concert. You're going to the world's hottest destination outside of Yemen. You're going to Phoenix. Our weekends are divergent. Joy Taylor is joining me. Urban Meyer, Mark Schlereth, Jason McIntyre today. Coming up next, I've been tough on Mike Tomlin, but why he deserves the contract extension, that's coming up. Listen, before you travel this summer, you need to get a bag from Away Travel. Okay, I'm carrying mine today. We got the aluminum carry-on luggage. The stuff is fantastic. It's a company in Newport, California. I'd never heard about it until about 6 months ago. Every suitcase has a hidden removable laundry bag. Dirty and clean clothes separated. A TSA-approved lock. Everything's safe. 4 spinner wheels, quiet in the airport. Carry-ons perfectly sized, goes in the overhead storage. Plus, you can order their carry-ons with a removable TSA-approved battery.